Let her go, because we haven't had a girl up yet. Go ahead. Let her go first. Ladies first, right? And now you guys can't call me a misogynist. You see that? Now you guys can't call me a misogynist. What's up?
Hello.
Hi.
I have a question about what do you think women should be doing if you do believe that we are supposed to be submissive and following a role of the husband, which I do believe in Catholicism, having the man as a leader. But I do believe in having an education, which is why I'm here at the University of Florida. And so I just want your opinions on that.
So I understand that we live in a different world. I understand that inflation is high, cost of living is high. You need a dual income a lot of the times to make it. But what I say is, like, I think women should be prioritizing a family and finding a guy over school. I'm not saying, like, don't go to school at all, but I think that women put way too much of an emphasis on education, traveling, being a whore, partying, and having their fun, right? Girls just want to have fun. There's a reason why that song was a hit song since the 1980s, etc. And men are like a distant, like 6th or 7th place. Like in my first book, I talk about this. Like most women, when you ask them, like, hey, peg your priorities, like men in a relationship and marriage is like 6th, 7th place. And it's only until women get older that they start to change their priorities. But by then, a lot of the times, they're not in a commanding space to get a certain caliber of guy anymore, right? If you're a 30-year-old woman, right, who's dated around, make $100,000 a year, etc., you're not going to be the same as a guy that makes $100,000 a year that's 30 years old, right? Like men respond to different things than women do, and I think one of the biggest lies we tell women is that, like, getting a career, getting an education is going to be the path to finding a guy, and quite frankly, it actually hurts you by doing that.
Well, I still believe in getting an education, but there is over 50% of marriages that do get divorced. So when it comes to those situations and you have single mothers, most of the time, I mean, you have single mothers and alimony, which is not guaranteed. So during that time, should a woman be
Well, also
working?
keep in mind, who initiates a divorce 80% of the time?
Women.
It's the women. So, and this is what I'm trying to say, like, this is why feminism is so pernicious, because it incentivizes women to marry you and then divorce you. Because if you look at it, the man in a relationship is supposed to, like, provide, provisioning, protection, etc., right? All these different things. And the woman's supposed to provide sexual access. If you get divorced, you are still on the hook for those responsibilities while she's not. So it's a completely rigged system, which is why I tell guys, like, don't get married with the state. Puts you in a very bad spot, especially if you're a higher earner. Because what ends up happening is women become incentivized to divorce you and take your resources. They transfer the wealth from the state to her. And if you don't comply, you go to jail.
But in the belief, if you do believe in the sacrament of marriage, like in Catholicism, then you wouldn't believe in divorce and you'd believe in seeking resources instead.
Yeah, that's an ideal situation, but women always reserve the right to be Christian and Catholic until they're not happy anymore in the relationship, and then they become secular for a couple months, initiate the divorce, then they go back. You know what I mean? So divorce is heavily incentivized in our society. And there's an entire industry behind it. We're talking about family court lawyers, judges, court systems. It's a billion-dollar industry.
And what would you propose that your solution to divorce is, if there's so many men that do sleep around and then have that habit going into marriage?
Well, my suggestion is that guys have to understand female nature and pick the right one and, date meticulously and vet women, almost to an excruciating detailed point, and make sure that she's not going to come in and f life up. Because we have way more to lose than women do.
Thank you.
No problem. Good questions.
Yo, Myron, what's your view on DEI?
Stupid.
Then why do you still have that black fella on your podcast, Coconuts?
Funny joke. Well, I started the podcast with Fresh, and I'm going to end it with Fresh. I don't leave my people behind.
All right. And I also wanted to talk about a more topical subject about Epstein and influence of the United States.
Sure.
I'm sorry?
Sure.
What is your, how do you think that Jeffrey Epstein got his position in Bear Stearns at such a young age with little experience?
Nepotism and being Jewish.
Did it have anything to do with Israeli intelligence?
I think at this point it's pretty much confirmed that he was Israeli intelligence.
I think it's interesting because you've talked about a lot of podcasts about chartdojo.io, and you've talked about all these things and how it's such a useful tool for traders. Don't you think that he could have used that to get into his experience?
Use what?
Chartdojo.io.
I don't know what that is.
You've talked about on several podcasts, Matan's podcast, Abraham's Exchange. You talked about it with Luke Belmar.
Wait, it's called what?
Chartdojo.io.
Chart.
You've talked about it all the time, the back testing trading subject, where it provides you real AI analysis based on real trades.
Okay, I've never.
You've talked about it all the time?
This guy's trying to promote. Yeah, no, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Are you sure?
I don't recall what you're talking about.
But
AI
you've talked
trading?
about it multiple times. You said you support it. You, Fresh, Luke Belmar.
AI trading?
Yeah. Back testing trading simulator that provides real AI analysis on your trades on real historical market data.
No,
You've talked about it all the time.
I never have, dude. I don't know what you're
Dude,
talking
the
about.
ASU frat leader profit mocked Clavicular because he used it.
All right, this guy just. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, but that's fine.
Thank you. Shukran.
All right. That was strange.
Thank you.
Yeah, someone said L-ad in the back. It's all good, man. Hi.
Hi. So you think women
He's probably
deserve,
Jewish, chat. Leave him alone.
so you
What's
think
up?
women deserve
Real
less?
life chat.
So background, I've been enlisted in the military. I'm in ROTC right now.
Okay.
Why do you think a woman in the military is any less than a man except for physical aspects? First of all. Second of all, 75% of healthcare support workers are women. What are you going to do if all those women start going home and making sandwiches and that's all they do? What is your economy going to do? What is your military going to do? Think about it. Like, actually think about that. Tell me about that.
You're in the American military?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay. Because you have an accent, so I wasn't sure if you're like, are you like dual citizen?
Yeah.
What country?
Britain. And I'm also a Zionist Jew.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
you think I have loyalty to what about to America and what about to Britain that I would proudly serve and die for?
Well, first and foremost, I think having dual citizens in the armed forces is a big L. That's not good. And then number two, the reason why I don't think women should serve in combat positions is because women are physically inferior to men in every way.
What
And I
about all
think
the
it weakens-
non-combat positions? Think
was
about that.
What was that?
Non-combat positions. The army's not just grunts.
Of course, that's why I said combat positions. They shouldn't be in the front lines because I'd
That's
be pissed
fine.
off if I was in the infantry and I had a woman in my squad that can't even drag me to safety. You're only as strong as your weakest component. And,
Okay,
you know,
bar that. What happens if all the women go home and they just like making babies all the time and in the kitchen making sandwiches?
we'd have a
What
way
about
better society.
healthcare?
We'd have a
What
way
about
better
the
society.
economy? Almost 47% of the workforce is women. So
Yeah,
after they
that's-
all go home,
Yeah. Yeah.
what happens to your economy?
It would be better.
You think it would be better?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys would be making sandwiches and we'd have nuclear families and the men can work and, you know, do what they're supposed to do.
It's
And,
2026. We have dual income households that can still barely get by.
yep. And this is why feminism is a huge problem.
So you're
I s-
blaming feminism for that?
Yeah. It's led to a lot of problems.
Not
yeah.
the economy, not like Republican governors, not the government, tariffs, not Trump
Well,
doing
that's
all
another
that.
problem. Like women have the right to
Definitely not
vote.
that.
I think we should take the 19th away too.
That's
I think we
crazy.
need to repeal the 19th as well. Oh, they get triggered and just walk away. Okay. Shout out to
Okay.
That's nuts that we have dual citizen people in our armed forces. That's crazy.
Hi, Myron.
Yo.
So you've been talking a lot about all the problems with women and all the harm they've been doing to men. But
Well,
I think it's-
feminism.
with feminism. But I think
That includes
like,
both men and women.
Lots of women are being exploited and victimized by men. So I just wanted to know, do you stand in solidarity with fellow UF student and American patriot Maddie Kowalski?
I don't know who that is, but
It's
that's
tragic.
you?
Maddie Kowalski is a great person.
Okay. I'm assuming that's probably you or something.
She was victimized and had videos leaked against her will on this campus.
I'm not familiar with the story.
Very sorry. Thank you, Myron.
No worries.
Yo, what's up?
Yo.
What makes you think that someone is worth something? What makes someone worth something? If you, no, I'm done.
Yeah, can you be a bit more specific? That's a very broad.
What traits of a person or and qualities makes them worth something? You like to say that women are worth less, so you must know what makes someone worth something.
A girl that's not a slut.
Wow, that was so philosophical, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
bro.
it's pretty straightforward.
Any woman with
simple.
self-respect would never talk to you, bro. So tell me, why, what makes you think that women deserve less, bro? And I know so many great women with pride, self-respect, morality. Bro, what type of woman do you talk to on the daily basis? What are the women that you attract that you talk to? What type of woman are they? Not saying that there's anything wrong with OnlyFans girls. There's
a lot wrong with them.
They may lack some self-respect. That doesn't make them worthless. They may feel like they're worth less and less, but that doesn't make them worth less, bro. But those are the women you talk to that feel like they are worth less. You've never talked to an actual great woman in your life with pride, with humanity, with dignity. You have no idea what those words even mean, bro, because you don't convey it. You don't express it. You are hurting these women, and you don't care. What do you think of morality, bro? Is morality an important trait? To be moral and compassionate and empathetic, is that important?
Damn, this guy's really trying to get laid tonight. Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing, dude. Men and women are different, okay? Girls that are sluts are not respected because it's easy. Guys that are capable of being sluts are respected because it's hard. It's not easy for guys to attract women, but it's very easy for women to attract men. It's just very simple. So the barrier to entry is low, so therefore it's not respected.
Dog, you did
as
not
far as
answer-
like, go ahead.
You didn't answer my question. I'm asking about morality. Do you believe morality and empathy and compassion are important things in this world?
Well, you can be polite to girls that are 304s, but that doesn't mean you have to date them.
Dog, nothing you say is polite. You disrespect their humanity in every way. That is the
For telling the truth? If you do OnlyFans, that you're a whore.
Bro, no man who has ever been treated well by a woman would act like you. You've clearly been scarred horribly, bro, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that happened. Whatever happened to you, I am so sorry that it has made you that way. I would hate to live a life where I'm a person, bro. That would make that is the saddest, the darkest life possible, and I feel sorry for you, bro. You have no compassion. The things that make us human, you have none of, bro.
Besides your
You
emotional
have none
arguments,
of.
like what is your actual like?
That was none
What
of
is
that
your
was
actual argument?
that women have pride, dignity, humanity, and you deny them all of that. What
Okay.
defines dignity? Self-respect, strength, self-worth, humility. Yes, exactly.
And these are all traits that OnlyFans girls and thoughts don't have.
Yeah, the only ones you talk to, bro. That's why you don't know, because they're the only. I'm sorry, because those are the only ones that you talk to.
No, we
That's
brought
why
plenty
you
of
do
girls
not
on our
know.
show that have PhDs, master's degrees, higher education. We brought girls from all different walks of life, man.
And you, I'm sure you disrespected them, huh?
Well, a lot of them are dumb, if I'm going to be honest. Not all, but a lot of them are. A lot of them lack critical thinking skills despite higher education.
All right, so you never answered my question. Women with dignity, self-respect, humility, self-worth. There's none of them. They don't exist on this planet because I know thousands. I know.
Of course they
hundreds of
exist,
them.
but they're a minority.
All right, so then some women do deserve equal as men. You just admitted it. They have dignity. Why would they deserve any less? You just admitted it.
Look, bro, like
If you want to make a
it's
generalization,
not all or nothing. Like we're speaking in generalities here.
Oh, you're
So-
speaking in generalities.
Yes, this is how the world works. We speak in generalities.
Yeah, you only know what's general.
There's always going to be exceptions to the rule
every.
every time. But what I'm saying for the guys here is that the dating landscape has changed significantly, and guys need to prepare for the new normal. Your methodology of being a simp no longer works, okay? Like, you know, putting on the cape for women and being the nice guy and fighting for them and everything else like that, that's not respected, okay?
Regardless of if they, whatever they lack that you think they lack, they're still human beings. So you think it's okay to hurt other human beings. That's your whole, bro, you are hurting people. I don't care whether they're women, whether they're the races that you discriminate against, you are hurting people. Do you not care that you are hurting people, bro?
The only thing I can do is tell the truth. I'm not in control of other people's feelings and how they
Bro,
respond to the
you haven't made a
truth.
single
So
philosophical
if I tell the truth,
bro, you haven't made a single philosophical argument. I'm giving you real profound philosophical arguments.
no,
and
you've just been
and
like
bro,
vomiting emotional arguments.
Bro, you're answering them with women deserve less because they're sluts. That is your argument, bro. How did you rise to fame as an intellectual? Calling a woman a slut is not an argument.
No, I'm saying men shouldn't commit to sluts.
Okay. All right, so that's your
Big
argument.
difference.
No, but you're actually saying women deserve less. So I want, and you're saying you're making generalizations, but saying women deserve less, that doesn't sound like a generalization.
It is.
woman.
When you date a girl or when you're dealing with women, you have to give them less. In today's landscape, you can't be a gentleman anymore. Chivalry is dead and women killed it.
Give me a philosophical argument as to why.
I just explained it. Women have changed. They have their own money. They have their own status. They're educated now. So a nice regular guy no longer cuts it. So men not only have to be attractive and competent and, educated and have money. They have to compete. So what I tell guys is you have to deal with the new normal because average women no longer want average men. So you must be above average.
Okay, that's...
So this is why they deserve less.
Okay, I'll respect that first part, but I don't understand how that equates to them deserving less, bro. They've elevated themselves in society. Why do they deserve less now?
Yeah, see, this rhetoric right here is a big part of the problem.
Bro,
Like
I think hate speech is a part of the problem.
Hate
I think
speech?
inhumanity is a part of the problem.
It's really truth speech.
Bro,
because
you hear how your only argument is I'm speaking the truth. I give you an argument and you say, yeah, but I'm speaking the truth. That's your one argument.
Men and women are biologically different.
You just made the
and
same argument.
Here's the thing. Men and women are biologically different, and your egalitarian worldview of, pedestalizing females is just not going to work for
I'm
the
not
majority
putting
of guys.
them on a pedestal. I'm saying
you quite literally are.
I'm putting
Quite
them on
literally
a
are.
pedestal compared to your terms, but I'm saying they deserve the same amount as us, bro. They are human
I just
beings.
told you egalitarian.
I know many great
equality
women.
doesn't work.
I
between
know
men and
many
women.
great women, and if they have to struggle to survive to do OnlyFans, it's because men put them in that position, bro. You need some historical context, bro.
Oh, man.
Yo, even if they are doing OnlyFans and even if they are wrong for it, they're still human beings, bro. Treat people with dignity. Have some respect, bro. They're humans. All right, I'm gonna end on that.
All right. There you go. That's actually very interesting and revealing. Guys, that is why women behave the way that they do. Guys like that don't hold females accountable for their bad behavior. They act like morons. If you have something to say, you can come up to the mic instead of booing. Defend your belief system. Let the sandwich maker up. You have something you want to say? Go ahead, come up to the mic. See, terrified. They can't defend their belief systems. Okay, we'll try. Go ahead. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. See, there you go.
How are you?
Go ahead, man. What's up?
What's up? I guess I'll start what can you contextualize the statement women deserve less? Like exactly what does that mean?
Why women deserve less?
No, what do you mean exactly by women deserve less?
Don't be a simp.
Yeah, I mean I need a bit more of an explanation. Like I guess women deserve less is like if you're saying, you're just bending over backwards.
It's not
whatever
rocket
thing.
science, man. What I'm saying is men need to be more protective of their time, energy, and money and resources and not just give it up and not just simp for a girl and put her on a pedestal because what ends up happening is you lose attraction. Women don't respond favorably to men that look at them as an equal or worse yet, a guy that pedestalizes them.
I don't think that
She
those
should be
two
pedestalizing you. That's when it works. She needs to be chasing your affection. You need to be the prize. And obviously for you to become the prize, you need to get in the gym, you need to make money, you need to become competent, you need to be able to be charming, charismatic. So that's what I'm saying.
Those are all good qualities of a man to have, especially. I know
Sure.
you were talking with the guy before about how women have elevated, but I don't see that as a bad thing that makes them then deserve less. For example, you said, a woman
No, it's
should
absolutely
always,
that's precisely why you have to give them less. Dude, if you saw how much attention regular girls get, if you look on if you have a female friend, ask to look at her Instagram, ask to look at her dating apps. You're going to get red pilled immediately. You're going to see thousands of dudes hitting them up saying she's beautiful, she's a princess. You're going to see dudes offering to fly her out. You're going to see dudes offering to give her Cash App, money on Cash App and Venmo. In 2026, women live a completely different reality than men do. So since women live a different reality that men do and they don't appreciate men, you must make them appreciate you because the status quo is that most women simply don't respect most men. Now, none of them are going to admit this, but it's the truth. Most guys are virtually invisible to most women.
Sure. Wouldn't better advice be to elevate as a man than to give a woman less?
That's precisely what I'm saying. You elevate and you give her less.
Okay. You know what? You also said you don't think the 19th Amendment should be a thing.
Yeah, I don't think women should vote.
Why?
Okay. Here's the thing. Do we have any women here that want to come up? I was going to ask a female a question here. Come up real fast. Okay.
What do you want?
Okay, so you think women should vote?
Yeah, and you're saying that we're less intelligent? Why?
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What is a selective service?
Men are drafted over the age of 18. They're required to serve.
Fantastic. Now, do women have to enroll in it?
No, but that doesn't
That's
mean
why you
that-
guys shouldn't vote.
That doesn't mean that we can vote. We do.
Yeah, that's precisely why you guys shouldn't vote. The
Oh, so
problem
you're
here
saying-
is that women have less of a skin in the game, but have all the same privileges and rights as men. I would argue women have more rights and privileges than men with less responsibility.
What the hell did you go through, man?
All right. Well, let me get back to him and finish with him. Then you can come back up. W for knowing what the selective service is. Most women don't, and that's another privilege that women enjoy that men don't. Go ahead.
I
Well, you
think-
can get on the mic after.
I think
Just
that,
to finish what you're saying.
I think that just because, let's say, women don't have to go to war, there's a lot of different facets of, let's say, a country or whatever you're voting for, that aren't war. Like, I don't know, something as simple as picking or like just even picking a governor or whatever. These aren't things that have to pertain
Women
to war.
overwhelmingly vote Democrat. They overwhelmingly vote for socialist/progressive policies because women crave security. So if they don't have it through their man, they typically want it from the government. And what ends up happening is, since women, don't really understand competency and dominance hierarchies like men do, they want equality across the board, and that simply doesn't work. It's like communism. Sounds good on paper, but it doesn't really work in practice. So if we had to rely on the female vote, we would have Kamala Harris in office right now. Now, with that said, I'm not too happy with what Trump's doing either, but I still think he's a far better candidate than Kamala Harris.
But we're
would have
not
been.
relying on women. We have a society that's full of women and men, and that's why things go
But
out
that's
the
what I'm
way
trying to
that
explain
they
to
do.
you. If we relied only on the female vote, we would have Kamala Harris in office. Women overwhelmingly are the reasons why Democrats and progressives get into office. Women
But-
are overwhelmingly the reason why progressive, pernicious ideologies are pushed in society.
Progressive ideologies were pushed in society before women could vote.
But it came under the Trojan horse of feminism. Feminism was the Trojan horse, and then all the other came behind it.
Regardless, if men are the only ones voting, okay, whatever Trojan horse of feminism, it's still happening, regardless of if women are voting or not, no?
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying we need to repeal the 19th.
But it happened before the 19th.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to repeal the 19th.
That's
That's
makes
my argument.
no sense. Like, if the same effect is going to happen with or without the 19th.
No, it's not going to happen.
and
No, actually,
this
it's not.
was happening before the 19th.
It's
was.
not, because women overwhelmingly vote Democrat. They overwhelmingly go towards more progressive/socialist candidates.
Okay, that's like saying
Now, is that all of
minorities.
them?
That's
But-
like saying minorities overwhelmingly vote Democrat. Overwhelmingly.
They do too, yeah.
Okay, so are you saying that minorities also shouldn't have the?
Well, they're a
Option to
minority, so
vote?
it doesn't affect the vote as much. But with women, they're half of the
Regardless.
population, so that does affect the voting population or the voting.
Okay, regardless, if you're saying that your argument is that women shouldn't have the opportunity to vote because just based off of how they were born, them being a woman, that they're skewing votes, they're skewing elections.
Now, here's
same
the thing.
goes with minorities.
If they serve, if they do like some type of government function or something like that, or they have like some type of skin in the game, then
women
maybe.
are allowed to work for the
but,
government.
but in general, I don't think women should have the right to vote. No.
Women are allowed to work for the government.
No, I'm saying in this example, because you're saying like, oh, why should they not have the right to vote? There would be some exceptions where if they had government service or something like that, then yes. But for the majority, I don't think women should be voting. No.
Okay, but if you're in a time period where you're not
And look,
in
if
war,
you don't agree, that's fine. Like we can agree to disagree. That's
Well,
fine.
I'm just
But
trying to break down
my
your
argument is
argument.
that my argument is very simple. Women don't have the same skin in the game in society as men do, yet they enjoy all the same benefits and privileges that men do and rights that men do. Men control the infrastructure. Men are overwhelmingly the protectors and providers, and they're the ones that secure the country. They're the ones that have the monopoly of force. And if anything does happen, men are on the hook for defending the country. So I look at it like if we can go to war, right, and the commander in chief controls that, I think the people that have the skin in the game should be the ones to vote, not the women, because they don't have the same skin in the game and can be sent to fight. That makes sense? That's it. They don't have skin in the game, so.
I don't understand logically how.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to address like your argument about the Secret Service.
About what?
Sorry, not the Secret Service, the Selective Service.
Sure.
So you said that women shouldn't have the right to vote because we can't get drafted. So then couldn't you argue that older people who are too old to be drafted shouldn't be able to vote either?
Well, all men have to be in the selective service.
Right, but the
Otherwise, we go to jail or get fined.
Right, but that hasn't been a thing for several decades. It's in remission right now. So wouldn't you argue that there have been people in this lifetime that have never been in a period where they would have to be drafted? So do they get the right to vote, those men?
I mean, we're literally about to go to war with Iran right now.
Right, but there is no selective draft right now.
But okay, whether there's a draft or not, men are still on the hook and have to have skin in the game.
But currently they're not,
as a
because
matter
that
of
law
fact,
was repealed after
the fact that
Vietnam.
you're even arguing with me this way actually kind of proves the privilege that you have. So here's the difference. If a man turns 18, right? We're here at a college, right? State school. You can't get a scholarship or get financial aid unless you're in the selective service. You can't get a government job. You can't get a state job. You have certain opportunities taken away from you if you don't enter into selective service. These are all the same things that women could do without being in the selective service.
So there actually was, I'm pretty sure there was a law that was, or bill that was proposed for women to also be drafted. If that were the case, and if it were to pass, do you think women would be able to vote then? Because now we have the same.
I wouldn't even want them in the military, to be honest with you. This is like a multi-pronged issue. Like, it's not just that they shouldn't vote. I also don't think women should be in the military in combat situations either. I think that's a man's job. That men should be doing that, not women.
Okay. I don't really know how to argue with you with that.
Well, because I got the truth on my side. Men are physically superior. So it's like
Well, women have been proven to be more intelligent on average.
most geniuses are men.
And
Most
Okay.
inventions were created by men. A lot of the modern conveniences you enjoy were made by men. The microphone you're using was made by a man. The stand was made by a man. All of this stuff was made by men. Women don't really contribute to the same degree as men do when it comes to infrastructure and inventions. The civilized life that you enjoy nowadays was created by men predominantly.
well, that's because we live in a society that has favored men for a lot of time. I mean, women couldn't even enter the workforce until.
Okay,
the
well,
feminist
explain this to
movement.
me. Why is it that women are overrepresented in colleges, they're overrepresented in higher education, overrepresented in graduation, yet men still control the infrastructure and still keep the world running, despite the fact that women are more educated now than ever before, make more money? I'll tell you why. Because women choices put them in certain job fields that might not necessarily be as critical for human infrastructure. Women prefer to do jobs that deal with people, HR, firing people, saying, here's a safe space. Let's go ahead and have fun. Like, a lot of women have bullshit jobs. So
Okay,
it is what it is.
But I don't understand. If
Not
you
all,
think-
but a lot do.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I need to clarify something.
Sure.
So you say that women are stupid and they have jobs, but then you also say that, I'm sorry, hold on. Do you think women should be able to work?
What was that?
Do you think women should be able to work?
They shouldn't be prioritizing it.
They shouldn't be prioritizing.
They should not be prioritizing it. I'm obviously a realist, and I understand that we live in an inflated world, and two incomes and things are expensive. But I don't think that women should be prioritizing it. And unfortunately, women don't prioritize a family or a man at all. They wait until they're late 20s, 30s, they hit their epiphany, and then they try to find a guy. And by then, a lot of times it's too late.
Well, I would argue that that's more of a societal problem because women they have to be financially independent.
They don't have to be. They choose to be.
In this society,
And the reason why they choose to be is because, back to what I was saying, most women don't find most men attractive. So most women...
why do you think that is?
Why?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's always been that way, right? Something like 90% of women have procreated since the beginning of time versus only 40% of men. So women have already almost always disqualified a majority of men, but thanks to social media, feminism, women having their own jobs, etc., even more men are disqualified from the sexual
You don't
marketplace.
think that the reverse is true for
I'm
men?
sorry?
That men have become more selective as well?
Not at all. Men have become far more desperate, if anything. To put things in perspective, the average female has more dating options and sexual market pull than like a celebrity dude.
So yeah, we could sleep with anyone we want, but the quality of men isn't good.
No, but the point is you have access to these men.
Right, but just because we have access doesn't mean that these are good men.
That's an opportunity. That's huge.
I'm
You
not
can go on a
understanding.
date, like you can literally walk into a bar and go, and people are not going to care. But if I do that, they're going to be like, what the f*** is this guy out of here? So it's like, it's not the same at all. Women have far more opportunities than men do when it
Right,
comes to
but I'm
dating.
saying,
And the issue
yes, we
here,
have more opportunity, but they're not necessarily good opportunities, is what I'm saying.
well, trust me, there's going to be a couple good ones in there. It's just that you guys typically don't want to date them because they're boring or their socks don't match or some other frivolous reason women
I feel
disqualify
like you have
guys.
a very small, specific sample size of women.
I'm sorry?
Because the majority of women, as a woman, and with several friends who are women as well, we don't view guys this way. In fact, we look past a lot of traits that most people would consider problematic.
The majority of women are chasing the top small percentage of men. That's just what it is. And look, that's just the natural selection. It's always been that way.
I
But
can see how you could believe that, seeing like your sample size, but from my perspective,
let's use this college campus for example. Who are the guys that are fucking the most girls on campus? More than likely, probably the frat guys and athletes, right? That's more. That's a social status thing, and that's almost representative of the real world too. So the girls here at the school, you can use this college campus as an example. The guys that are going to be cleaning up and have the most sexual access are a minority of the men that have some type of prestige or status on the campus, aka a big frat or one of the athletes, right? The football team is going to get, a guy from the football team, for example, here, is going to get way more girls than a guy that doesn't play a sport or a guy that's on a club team, right? So college almost sets you up for this, and it's a realistic interpretation of how the real world works when it comes to sexual, intersexual dynamics. And all the women are attracted, not all, but a majority of the women are attracted to a small percentage of the men. And this is literally embodied right here on a college campus. The real world is very similar.
So you're saying that men, like you were saying before, they should go to the gym and they should better themselves to
Absolutely.
attract more women.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with that.
Absolutely. But a lot don't.
Right. So then why does that fall on the women? Why should men women
I'm not
accept
complaining
subpar
about,
men?
I want to be clear about this. I'm not like complaining that women are hypergamous. I'm just letting guys know that this is how women are. Because the problem here is that men aren't taught this stuff. They're taught women are sugar and spice and everything nice, be a gentleman, chivalry, blah, blah, blah. And they're not taught these unflattering and, black pill type realities about female nature. They think it's a Disney fairy tale. So that's why I put out these facts, because a lot of guys don't figure this out until it's too late. I'm sure you've heard a couple guys come up here where they gave it all to a girl, they were in a relationship, it ended up badly because, they were simping or they treated her like an equal or they didn't uphold their end of the bargain with, provisioning or being a leader.
I feel like that's survivorship bias. Only the people whose relationships didn't work out are going to complain.
Well, relationships are kind of in the toilet. We have high divorce rates. We have women that are, finding a majority of men as, unsatisfactory from a relationship perspective. Like, it's kind of, women's standards have went up, and alongside that, more and more guys are being ostracized, which, again, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just bringing this out there to all the guys out there that being an average guy no longer works.
All right, that's all I had to say.
No problem. Who's up next? Ladies first.
Thank you.
What's up?
Earlier you were talking about, or someone came up here talking about women being on OnlyFans. Would you support eradicating like OnlyFans and porn as a whole?
Yeah, I think pornography has a lot of problems. I think it should be absolutely limited to some degree for sure. It's a big problem.
Do you think that it's more on the women that are posting this or the men that are like consuming said content? Or
Both
should it
parties.
really be on both?
Both parties.
Okay. And also you were talking about women not being able to vote, which is obviously pretty extreme.
Repeal the 19th Amendment, yeah.
I assume that comes from your stance of like modern day feminism where women have really taken it out of its bounds, I feel. If you went to non-modern day feminism, like just, I guess, Jane Addams, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, like just advocating for women to that they're worth more than just being in the home, do you think that chivalry and all of those things that you said no longer apply to courting and dating, that could work if that type of feminism is what prevailed today?
Chivalry is dead and women killed it.
So do you feel that it is solely because of women that it's dead?
It's a big contributor to the destruction of chivalry, yes. It's not the only thing. You can make other arguments.
Okay. And how do you feel that, like what exactly did women do? I'm curious.
Say that again?
What exactly did women do to have chivalry die on their behalf?
Because men that treat women chivalrously typically are not rewarded for that. They're punished for it. There's a reason why the phrase nice guys finish last is extremely popular and it stood the test of time.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to hear your stance on that.
Yeah. No. Being a nice guy never works, really. Hey, good job on Unplugged Clips, X. Yo, Unplugged Clips, X, are you in OSS, bro? Are you in chat right now? Good stuff, dude. I see you going viral. Good stuff, my man.